Test. My shoes in it?
Yeah, that
It's
one.
fine. Shall we?
We shall. So how do you want to handle this, start this?
I do want to start making a bunch of these little videos, keep them a little short with a bunch of people that I've either worked with, that I'm working with now, or people that I just think have a really good story, whether it's corporate, whether it's a good startup story, or something that I think is good enough to share with people that can actually get value out of this. What we're talking about today is we're sitting down with Bryan Nunez, CEO of WeCapture Media.
Mm-hmm.
Hello.
How's it going?
One, this is the first episode or first on-camera appearance that we've had together. We've been working together for, I'd say, like a good amount of time now, where we've spent enough time brainstorming in offices and talking to clients where we've got a good vibe. But most important part of this episode, or part of this little clip, is I want to talk about, one, how you started WeCapture, how we got in contact, and then kind of where we see the vision of what we want to be working on together.
First of all, thank you for letting me be the first person. It's a good compliment, so I appreciate it. But yes, the owner of WeCapture Media, CEO of WeCapture Media. I started the business during the pandemic, where when I created the LLC was during the pandemic, but the idea prior to that came from actually getting fired from the family business. So my father fired me. My mom was a dentist, so my dad is heavily involved as well. Was an owner as well, and he it was a little difficult because I was working directly under him, and the lines between family and business were blurred. So after that, he fired me. Around that same time, my wife bought me my first camera, so I said, let me run with it. And then I started doing some projects here and there. I started doing content for my mom's dental office. I started with 2 very simple beginner cameras, and then the pandemic came. I decided to create the LLC. I went on, Zoom? I forget what it's called, but LegalZoom. And then I legalized the business and then started from there.
Huh. Wow. So kind of it built itself in the sense where you started going for it and then you saw the potential for it, rather than it just starting from an idea. It was kind of started with everything that was thrown at you, whether it was backed you in a corner or brought you 10 steps ahead, and you kind of were able to see the vision from there and get to, right here now.
It was a hobby in the beginning, and then a hobby turned into a business.
Yeah. I'd actually say I have a fairly similar story, a little from dating back before the pandemic, but very similar, family business style. Well, back when I was very young, I would always be obsessed with lifestyle, vlogging, video cameras, picking up my phone, just daily vlogging, doing some challenges from the Black Beatles challenge to the cinnamon, whatever I thought would be great for Vine or posting on YouTube. And I really liked just recording and filming. And
I did the water bucket challenge in high school.
Everyone did the water bucket challenge. Well, that actually had a bigger purpose to that, which is pretty cool. But down the road, as I got really into that, I was working on a couple different ventures. I've always had a very business-oriented mindset mixed with a fair split of creativity as well. And then first year of high school, I actually did an internship in my dad's company where I worked in the marketing department, and I learned so much from the guy that runs his marketing department, the VP of marketing, and he showed me corporate content creation. And I think from probably my first week or 2 weeks, I knew wow, I love this. I didn't realize what I'm doing as a passion could actually be something that I could build into a business. And something that fell in line too is in 7th grade, dating back, I have something called my business bucket list, where I've always had these crazy ideas and I'd always write them in a book. And one of them was to own my own media production company when I went to college. I was in 7th grade. I didn't even know if I'd make it to college at that time.
Yeah.
But I remember around that first week or second week of that internship, we were filming for a plastic surgeon. And I remember I was behind the camera. I was like, people get paid for doing this? This is amazing. And then I saw the greater potential within it, and how I can do corporate filming and not just media production for movies, but to help businesses and people start businesses as well.
Yeah.
Because I would also say with filming and with the way you present yourself on camera is really important, because it gives you an opportunity to show people the vision for where you want to be, but also shows people where you are, just so they have a full understanding of where your business is, and with the content that you show gives a full explanation for what they're expecting from you.
Of course.
And that's kind of how I got into my passion for corporate content creation. And I would do a couple projects here and there. I was working on my first business, and then when I moved to New York, started my own production company, did projects ever here and there, kept my niche in medical since I had a portfolio in it, and I knew if I really wanted to take it to the next level, I needed to either find or be surrounded by the talent that could actually be capable of seeing my vision.
Yeah.
And then I met someone with a very similar vision.
Nice. I think I have, again, like you said, a similar story where I wanted to get into this field, but I didn't want to be the cliche starving artist, right? Like that's a very famous term of the starving artist. Like you have to, let's say, be starving in the beginning so that you can make it later down the road.
Yeah.
Go through the ebbs and flows of starting out. But I didn't want to do that even from the beginning. So that's why I strayed away from the creative side, and I wanted to go more the events, the corporate route, the weddings, the parties, small businesses, because essentially the money for those types of projects end up, whether they do or they don't, but they're going towards making more business, making more money. So instead of, I'm trying to think but like just super creative photography, like I'm not trying to bash on the creative side of it, but there's not a lot of money in it. It's much harder to make it in that specific part of creativity, like a photography and videography.
Yeah, 100%. And just to build on that, I really think that our business is a double-facing, like, has two
Double-edged
faces
sword.
to it. What was that?
Double-edged sword.
Yeah. Or just two different paths to it, where we are helping and accommodating the businesses that we make content for,
Yeah.
but it's also the talent where we're allowing them to work on what they specialize in, and that's being creative videographers, being creative editors, and being able to express their talent. And I wouldn't call us a middleman business. That's not who we are at all. But we're the ones that bring both worlds together, where I think one of the most satisfying things ever, and I know we've both done this before we even knew each other, is making something very boring interesting.
I
From
agree.
a startup that doesn't even have a website yet, and we need to show everyone the exact potential that the business has from what the CEO has in his mind,
Yeah.
to giving color to something that's black and white. And that's
Yeah.
basically one of the most important parts of our jobs.
So to add to that point, one of the reasons why I fell in love with this, when I say this, it's the media side of it, because for me, I think I've realized bigger picture. For me, what I value the most out of all of this is the relationship building, meeting different people that are in different worlds, that have different opportunities, that are just people that I would want to know. Videography is the canvas, or media is the canvas of me meeting these people. But the reason why I fell in love with specifically videography is not the shooting, not the editing, not the creative direction. For me, it's the final product and what that does to the client. So like when we do weddings,
All of that.
or when we do content for small businesses, and we send it to them and they download and they look at it, and then you get that text back like, wow, this is amazing.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. You guys did a fantastic job. Oh, I'm going to remember this forever. Like, that's why I do what I do, and I love it so much.
Yeah. And I've always said this because I know you've done a lot more weddings, and I know that you do a lot of event filming, but one of my biggest things is if you can please a bridezilla, then you're able to satisfy any clients, because those are the scariest clients to work with sometimes.
Yeah.
And it should build trust for other people to want to work with us, because we haven't had a bad experience with weddings, and I would think those would be the hardest campaigns that we'd have.
Well, I mean, if you're patient and you also understand from their point of view, because in that case of Bridezilla, they're Bridezilla for a reason. It's one of the best days of their life, but it's also one of their most stressful days in their life. So like you don't want to add to that stress. You rather, I mean, you're not gonna fix it. You're not one person. They just probably met you a couple weeks ago or that specific day, but it's just like help neutralize it. You know, help not fuel the fire.
And this was one of the main questions that I want to ask you while we were just on this real quick. Or what has been your favorite shoot that you've worked on, and what are your favorite types of things to film?
Good question. I want to say my favorite thing that I've shot today was definitely Messi's unveiling from Inter Miami.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a big football fan, or soccer in this case. Since I was 4 years old, that's the only sport I've really cared about, the only sport I've ever played, the only sport I've ever watched. So a little bit of a context.
Yeah.
I met a girl who now is on TV, Melissa Ortiz. She was an ex-Olympian, so she played for the national team for Colombia, soccer, women's soccer. I met her at a pickup soccer game. I was like, there's something up with her too. Like she had to be pro at some point. She has to be high level. I introduced myself the same week that she moved to New York from Miami. Not Miami, somewhere in Florida, but from Florida. As time has gone, I have brought her gigs. She has gotten me gigs. I want to do cool shit. I want to do cool big shit. So sorry, I don't know if I can curse on this, but it eventually paid off because as soon as I heard that Lionel Messi, one of the best players in the world in history.
Some people would disagree.
Very,
I'm not a big soccer
debatable.
guy. I don't know.
But one of the best players in history. When we heard that he was going to go to the MLS, I texted her right away, and I have the messages where I was like, Melissa, if you have any opportunity with him, I will pay to get in. I will pay my own flight. I will do whatever I need to get in there. Please help me. And then a month later, she goes, yo, I just heard from them. They want me to host his unveiling. Do you want to come? And I said, fuck yeah. I went, I bought the flights. I paid maybe like $1,500 with flight and a hotel and transportation. I was there the next day. The fact that I was able to make it into the VIP section and be next to him for about an hour. I didn't have any conversation with him. I took a picture, but just taking that one photo of him with my client was like a highlight. Like it's going to be very difficult for me to ever do anything bigger than that.
That's huge. And I think the biggest message that I heard from that is, one, filming what you love, but even more important is networking and having an open network and making friends, having people like you. When you close a client or you close a deal, it doesn't mean like, all right, let me get the video for them and say, fuck off. It's more so like we do lots of dinners, lunches, talk to people, go to networking events, hang out with people, just to plant seeds and see how we can help people and hope that it pays off somehow. We never ask for anything in return, but we hope that if we do the right things and we please the right people and we make people happy and we could provide whatever we can to them, they'd reciprocate. Reciprocate.
Right? I definitely think the more value you bring to somebody, you should just do it. Obviously, you want to get value in return, but it should be you're doing it out of your own free will, right? You want to shake as many hands as possible. Not every hand you shake is going to be a good connect or a positive one, but it's a numbers game. The more hands you shake, the probability of you meeting somebody that will help you out in life or that will bring cool opportunities or big projects will increase.
Yeah. And something that I think that a lot of videographers and people within our field miss out on is asking or shooting a shot or sending that cold DM or asking someone for a reference, because I don't mean to sound cliche here, but any shot you don't take, you're going to miss it,
Of course.
So don't be afraid to actually ask someone like, hey, can you put me in touch with so-and-so, or film something or film a complimentary campaign for someone, but make it very clear, like, hey, I'd love to do this for you. Do you think you're able to get me in a meeting with so-and-so or something like that, just so you're able to provide value and get value back?
If there's not a monetary exchange, there has to be some sort of value given on both sides.
Yeah. And there are tons of different businesses that'll disagree and say money has to be on the table in order for there to be a deal. I don't believe that. A relationship and an opportunity has to be there just to be able to proceed. I would rather close a deal or build a relationship with someone that I see we would be working with long term than send a cold DM saying, hey, we'll film something, here's the price, let's go do it, and bam. We are able to help people with one and done campaigns if they need an extra videographer, if they need help capturing a certain moment. But we're in a relationships game. Any sales role, any service-based industry, it's all about your relationships.
We did a complimentary shoot for a dentist who gave us a referral for another dentist that has paid us quite a bit in the past 2 months. So as a thank you, we said, hey, let's shoot you a free video or a complimentary video for the referral. And then we went in, we shot. It took about an hour and a half, which is not too long. But I was able to create, instead of one complimentary video, from that we were able to make 4. So now he's able to use that for his social media, he's able to use that for his TV screens. He's got about 3 or 4 in his office. And again, exceeding expectations, not only because we want to, but also because of the expertise that we have. So he sent me a really nice text message I could send it to you. I've sent it to you already. Where he's like, oh, we're one of the best videography companies or video production companies in the game.
Such a good feel-good feeling, you know?
Yeah, and he gave us a testimonial without me even asking. I didn't send him the link. He went on Google, looked up WeCapture Media, and left a review.
Nice.
So
that's the best.
Yeah.
And the other thing with building off what you just said is there's so many different types of media production that needs to be done for so many different types of businesses, from branding videos to those videos on the TVs, to getting testimonials from major services that doctors or service workers actually provide, just so people get a full understanding of what they're about to pay for.
Yeah.
And then there's the social media stuff too, to keep a presentable brand and just relevant and quality content that people need on their website in order to back up the quality services that they actually offer. Something that a lot of people misunderstand about us is some people might look at us and see or think a jack of all trades. They do real estate, they do doctors, they do everything. But what I always say to people is it's not more so about the different industries we do. We know what we do best, and that's being camera specialists, and that's being able to do media production. And if you need anything else, we have the network and we have the partnering companies that provide different types of services as well. But that gives us an advantage of being in so many different types of industries because we've had that experience. We're the guys behind the camera. We're the guys actually capturing the moments, actually capturing the success, actually being able to put in people's minds what these businesses are. And I think being able to have as many campaigns as we have under our belt gives us more credibility for building trust with clients as well.
I want to be able to help different people in different niches instead of just only helping the same type of person over and over again. And also don't want to get bored.
Yeah, no, that's great. And I think that's also what makes us stand out with the different videographers we have on our team, where we have specialists that do specialize in different types of sectors of media production.
Yeah.
But since you're so well versed in everything, you don't need to speak the language 100%. You need to know 70 to 80% of it and know the people that could carry it out 100% through.
Yeah.
Just so we have the client or we have someone that needs a campaign executed, we have the person on our team that's right for the job.
Exactly.
You know?
Yeah.
But I mean, like, I do want to keep this a little short, not overextend this. Might break this up into 2 episodes. We don't know, maybe. I don't know. But you have anything closing off or anything you want to say? Or are we going to be doing this once a week? Or this can't be the only time we do this. Let's see what they think. But
No, we'll do it in a month or 2. But no, I want to thank you because you're the one that approached me to do this collaboration.
Yeah.
It's been a couple of months now, and I think we gel really well together. We've moved fairly fast on this partnership, and we've seen some of the results already coming out. So I like it. You and I are very similar in terms of, like, we don't just sit around and just take the day off, or if we don't have a shoot today, then we're just hanging out or chilling. Or no, it's like we want to get things done. That's kind of like what we get a kick out of it. So it's cool. I think both of us can do a lot of positive damage.
Yeah. But that's why I feel really good about working together because, like I said before, we have very similar visions for what we wanted to build. And I think I know we can accomplish it together with a multifaceted media production company.
We'll see where we are in 2 months from now.
Yeah, by this next episode. That was pretty much everything we want to talk about. I do want to thank Brian for being on. This was
thank you.
Very important for us to have a conversation on camera. The one thing I did want to say is if anyone that's watching this wants to be on an episode, whether it's on Zoom, whether we bring a camera crew out and we film, I think this is very important just because I want to be able to share people's stories, but more importantly, give any value I think that I'm able to give. So this was episode 1. There's no concrete schedule. There's no concrete posting every week or something. But once I find a good story to share, I really want to share it on here. So comment down what you guys think of this.
Awesome. Bye-bye.